Yo, coming up on today's show, we're talking about all NBA free agency moves, LeBron to LA, and the rest of the big name players and power moves. You know, in the second half of the show, sexual chemistry. If you have bad sexual chemistry, can you be in a relationship with somebody? Find out. Cue that intro. Welcome to the Routes and Relationships Podcast, where we are the sports podcast giving practical relationship advice. We talk sports and help couples reach their ultimate relationship goals. And now your hosts, who are both fired from good government jobs.
Fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Both divorced.
We gonna celebrate what? My divorce. How about that?
And both with 3 kids. Maury Langshaw Sr.
What do you know about love? What do you possibly think you know about love?
And Mien Mignon.
It's funny to hear a female talk about routes.
Hello, welcome to our latest episode of Routes and Relationships, where I am the sidekick, Mia Mignon, to the main guy. Introduce yourself, main guy.
I don't know why I gotta be the main guy.
Yes.
Co-host Maury Langshaw. What's up?
NBA free agency
NBA free agency.
and bad sexual chemistry, as you heard.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And before we get into NBA free agency and bad sexual chemistry, we'd like to let you know that you can find us on routesandrelationships.com, Routes and Relationships on Facebook, Routes_ships on Twitter, Routes and Relationship on Instagram. Just find us on all your social media outlets except for Snapchat on Routes and Relationships. And if you would like to support the show, which we encourage you to do on patreon.com/Routes and Relationships. So, we want to get into our topic?
The NBA free agency is underway. Man, lots of it happened over the past 2 days. Where do you want to begin?
I want to begin with being right, because it's important for me as the sports freak to have some type of credibility, courtesy of Maury Langshaw, who always tells me that I was correct when I said that Paul George was going to stay in OKC. Even though I wanted him to go to LA with LeBron, I said he'll probably stay in OKC.
So she wants kudos, guys. Everybody comment and review saying,
Yes.
wow, sports freak, you really know your stuff.
Yeah,
So we're starting with Paul George. He signed a, what?
4-year deal
4-year deal.
for $154 million.
I think LeBron signed for 154.
207.
No, 4 years? You think Paul George signed for
No, let me
$207
check.
million?
It was 154, wasn't it? 154.
Now LeBron,
LeBron was 154.
yes.
Well, I know it was a whole lot of goddamn.
It's more coin than I have.
You sure it wasn't 206?
137 million. 4 years, 137 million. Paul George, you were right. Yes.
Okay.
Next big name, so we can skip on that because we can't have Sports Freak just gloating on the fact that she was right. Can we?
No.
We'll never ever go down.
No.
Who's next?
We want to talk about where DeMarcus Cousins is going to go.
Can he go to the Wizards?
He can, but will he? No.
Why not?
Because the Wizards aren't going to put together the type of package that they need to get somebody like Billy Cousins. They will have to get rid of, they will have to be bold. They will have to get rid of Bradley Beal, Otto Porter, and maybe offer a draft pick, and it's something they can't afford to do.
Sure they can. If you get rid of Beal and Otto Porter to get Boogie Cousins here, who would not sign off on that?
Boogie Cousins, because he doesn't want to come to Washington.
To be with his boy? He would play with his boy?
No, but he would play with his boy. He would play with John Wall, but he doesn't want to play with John Wall and Washington.
Why? I don't get that. Because Boogie Cousins, he feels like he's a LeBron type caliber player where he goes, he's going to make the team better.
Yeah, but he's not going to stay healthy. So
now it's health. So okay,
yeah.
that's different.
Yeah, he's not going to stay healthy to do it. Even though he can while he plays, he's just not going to stay healthy to do it. So I don't know. Everybody wants him, so I guess that's the next big thing on the radar of free agency of where is Boogie Cousins going to go. Boogie Cousins and Kawhi Leonard So we can get into Kawhi Leonard, who will sit out this year if he doesn't get the hell out of San Antonio. That's the rumor, that he threatened to sit out all year this year.
Who is this?
Kawhi Leonard.
He's going to sit out this year if he's not traded?
Yeah. That's the rumor. Now, I don't know how true that rumor is, but the rumor is that he will sit on the bench and not play at all.
Is it that bad in San Antonio why he's threatening to sit out?
I don't know what the hell happened to him in San Antonio, but he said he's willing to sit out just to get out of there. So, and San Antonio is not gonna make it easy for him. Like, we're just not gonna give you away just because you don't like it yet.
Yeah, and they shouldn't. The bottom line, it's business.
It's a business.
It's business.
You still gotta play, homeboy, whether you want to or not, or you lose some money.
All right, let's talk about your squad.
The Mavericks.
They signed Dirk back.
That's great. I'll tell you, as long as Derek's children are under the age, I'm sorry, as long as Dirk's children are under the age of 6, he's gonna sign. Because he has little kids, he has stair-step children, and as long as they're under 6, he's gonna be on the basketball court. So he might even be there for another 2 years.
My goodness. You know who's joining him? You said this too.
DeAndre Jordan. Thank you. It's about time. They need that. They need one.
Why? You've said that since the last time they tried to sign him and didn't. You said that was a good fit. And I'm still trying to understand the value of DeAndre Jordan.
Because defensively, the Mavericks are terrible. And they have no board presence. The rebounding of the Mavericks is horrible anytime that you rely on Harrison Barnes to be your defensive guy and your rebounder. That's why.
Harrison Barnes is an NBA champion. That's not
because of anything that he's done on his own. Like, he's not dynamic. He's not a game changer. He's a role player. So they have a role player in a leading man's role, and he can't do it. I'm sorry. So I, for one, am happy that they were able to sign him for 1 year.
Well, he's getting paid like he's a star. I'm talking about Harrison Barnes.
He is. That was a dumb deal. I said that back when they signed him back then, like he was a star. But he was coming off of a championship team, so you got to give him championship money. So I get it. He got paid. He did, and I can't blame him for that.
Who's next? Go down the list.
We already discussed Kawhi Leonard. Tariq Evans.
Where's he going?
They don't know yet. He's supposed to talk to the Warriors. Okay. And I don't know if the Warriors will be able to afford him. Like, they're already cash strapped, and they want to bring in Tariq Evans. Who is he going to replace? JaVale McGee?
Tariq? I think those are two completely different players there.
I know, it's a joke.
What about Aaron Gordon? Aaron Gordon got, dunk contest.
Some money.
He was that dunk contest with him and what's the other light-skinned boy? What's the other light-skinned boy?
You mean Donovan Mitchell?
No, the other light-skinned boy.
Not this past year?
No, it's like 2 years ago. What is his name?
I don't know.
Oh my God, we should know this.
Klay Thompson?
No.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Are you serious right now?
You said light skin.
I said dunk contest too.
You said light skin boy.
Oh my God. You see this is what? Are you serious? Klay Thompson?
He said
I said dunk contest.
He said light skin boy.
This is half the league is light skin boy.
Exactly. That's why you talking about what's his name.
The dunk contest with Aaron Gordon.
I can't think past this year. With
my gosh.
Mitchell. I really can't.
What's the boy's name? It's right on the tip of my tongue. From the what's it called?
19-year-old Zach Lavine.
Anyway, Aaron Gordon got paid by the Magic. He finally got paid 4 years, $84 million. Is he worth $84 million?
To the Magic, he is.
My goodness.
When the last time have you mentioned the Mavericks in anything?
The Magic.
The Mavericks too, but the Magic in anything contender related.
And you won't be. Aaron Gordon, $84 million.
So there you go. Hey, this just in: the Lakers have renounced Julius Randle's rights. So
wow, that's breaking news. As you heard it right this second. By the time you hear this podcast, you guys will have known this, but Randle is, no longer a Laker?
No. They said that they renounced Julius Randle and reached a deal. Rondo?
Rajon Rondo? Hey.
My goodness. Yes, so Julius Randle is going to leave. That has LeBron James on it. That's a LeBron James. LeBron is going through that roster and say, I'm going to play with him. I'm not going to play with him. I'm going to play with him. So
but why would you play with Julius Randle? He's a stud.
That's why. If you're LeBron James, I don't want anybody who could potentially outshine me. I need somebody who can play with me, who has some ability, but you cannot outshine me. That's one of the reasons why he didn't go to Philly.
I don't think so at all. Because he was desperate to play with Kyrie Leonard. And Kyrie Leonard. No, he was desperate to play with Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie Irving got him his championship in Cleveland. Kyrie Irving averaged 28 a game.
You hear what you're saying?
Kyrie Irving led that championship Cleveland team.
Do you hear what you're saying? You are having the same talk, which is true talk. You're having that talk that he doesn't like to hear. He doesn't like to hear people say Kyrie got LeBron the championship. It has to be LeBron and the Cavaliers, LeBron and the Lakers, LeBron and Kyrie.
But LeBron's resume speaks for itself, so he shouldn't feel that way.
It does speak for himself, but
Kyrie didn't go to 8 straight finals.
Listen, LeBron is insecure about how you view him and how you talk about him.
And so are LeBron fans, if you know
yes,
that.
He's very insecure. It has to be about him. So Rajon Rondo is a very good role player, and he's going to play his role, and he's going to say yes, boss, to LeBron and do whatever it is that you want me to do. So that's the perfect fit.
Oh, no, Rajon Rondo is going to try to outdo Lonzo Ball, and that's going to become a tensious little relationship right there.
Be something to watch. Something to watch, and I'm going to watch it.
Speaking of the 76ers, did you say something about the 76ers?
Just now. I'm saying it now. What about it?
J.J. Redick, we signed with them for a 1-year deal. That's a good move. That's a good move.
Hey, the Sixers, they don't have to add anybody or get rid of anybody. I think the Sixers are right where they need to be.
Yeah, if Ben Simmons can get somewhat of a 17-foot jumper, they're going to be dangerous.
Well, if his grade point average in school wasn't so bad, he probably can put together the common sense to do that.
Ooh.
But, yes.
Shots fired.
But, hey.
Who's that? Trevor Ariza, your boy Trevor Ariza, my old Washington Wizard guy. Trevor Ariza played for the Houston Rockets, very good player for the Houston Rockets.
I didn't see anything on
Trevor Ariza. Well, I'll break the news to you.
You break the news. I didn't see
Trevor Ariza. You picked it to Paul George with re-sign. That's a big deal. Nobody but you would have predicted that. So predict Trevor Ariza. What do you think?
Trevor was in Houston, right?
Yes. He's won the Western Conference Finals team.
And are you asking me, do I think he stayed?
What do you think? Whether he can either stay or go?
I think he left.
He indeed. He left.
He left.
To go to...
Don't say.
Oh.
Because they were talking about Trevor. I know they were talking about... The Wizards were talking about trying to see if they could get him back. Did he go to Memphis?
Nope.
Where did he go?
Phoenix Suns.
Oh my God, Trevor, you should have stayed in Houston.
For guess how long?
2 years?
1!
Should have stayed in Houston.
They doubled his salary though.
Oh,
it's a 1-year deal worth $15 million to go to the Phoenix freaking Suns.
Yeah, we'll do that, hey.
My God. Well, LeBron James is leaving to take less money. Trevor Ariza has doubled his salary to go to a non-contender.
Well, LeBron is taking less of a salary, somebody's salary. He's giving up, what, $57 or $54 million?
$53 million.
53, that's somebody's salary. So.
Okay.
Hey.
Who have we talked about?
Chris Paul is staying.
Chris Paul, yeah.
One of the people who I said was going to be in LA with LeBron. Chris Paul is staying, and he should stay.
So are you saying you're wrong?
Yes, I'm saying I'm wrong on that one, yes. Yes, I'm saying that.
So I'm only saying you're wrong because you said you were right. Because to predict free agency, come on now. This is not like who's going to win the finals.
Typical Maury Lang show. He always has to point out your flaws, people.
this is not a flaw. You said you were bragging about being right, so I'm saying it's just considered being wrong.
When it came to Paul George, because everybody, including myself, you know, I had that feeling too that he was going to go to LA because that's all they talked about. But
oh my gosh, you're trying to give credit, but you're taking credit away from your own Paul George prediction. Oh my gosh.
But we were talking about Chris Paul,
the other Paul who stayed with the Rockets for. He's making more than LeBron James.
Yeah, well then he was supposed to stay.
My goodness, $160 million. Can I buy a dollar, Chris Paul?
No, he has too many kids.
Does he?
Yeah, he has what, 2 or 3? Too many.
Too many? Yeah. Wait a second, you have 6.
No.
He has too many kids? So what would you consider yours?
Oh, we have way too many kids.
Oh, way too many. Not just too many.
Way too many kids, yeah.
Not
I love
just
all
too
of them. I love all of them to death. But
not just too many. Way too many.
Yeah, that's way too many. People don't have as many kids as we have. You know what? Speaking of a lot of kids, I was looking at something on the internet, and they had talking about families, large families, and something. And I was so mad because this couple had 8 kids. And I was like, we supposed to be the only big family out here in this new age day. They had 8 kids.
What, on TV?
No, it was like some article or something that I was reading. But they had 8 kids together. And I'm not gonna say that she had 8 babies, but when they came together as a couple, the man and the woman, they had 8 kids, and they were calling themselves the blended. That's how I found it, because they were calling themselves the blended 8, but they weren't including the mother and the father, just the kids.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when the kids were my kids were babies, there's a show on TV called, God damn it, what's the name of the show? John and Kate plus 8. Mm-hmm. They had like 3 sets of twins and 2 other kids.
They had 8 babies at one time.
Yeah, it was like 8 babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's...
But she had 8 babies. This couple, she had 4 kids, he had 4 kids.
Oh, kind of.
And
so
they came
like
together,
us.
yeah.
Right.
They just had...
The Brady Bunch type.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
so
but we got off topic.
We always do that. We always do that. Who else is up? Clint Capela, meeting with the Lakers.
Oh, he hasn't signed yet?
Right, but he's a restricted free agent, so whatever the Lakers offer, big chance that Houston will match it.
Kevin Durant isn't going anywhere. He's going to stay a Warrior because he's sick and tired of you all talking about him. He's a LeBron James, a baby LeBron James. He's very insecure when people start talking about him.
He is. He
is. You know.
But then, the thing is, we're going to do this again next year. This whole shenanigans, we're going to do again next year with Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
So, poor Kevin. He can't. He's a lose-lose. It's actually a lose-lose-win because he'll lose in PR, he'll lose in the argument, but he's going to win some championships.
Hey.
As long as he stays with the Warriors.
You're right.
And last but not least, the biggest name in the free agency market.
Jose Calderon?
Oh my gosh. I'm about to end this show.
It's not Jose Calderon. No.
I'll give you another chance.
We said it. LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Yeah.
Do you know where he's going?
Let me see. If I had to guess, it'll be to the Los Angeles Lakers.
You're right again. Oh my gosh. You're right again. So let's do this real quick. LeBron James going to the Lakers. He's going to the Western Conference where if you have 24 All-Stars on an All-Star team, 15 of them are on, or 16, 17 of them are from the Western Conference. The Eastern Conference is pretty much done.
No, you know what?
But
that's not fair to say that.
The Western Conference, now with LeBron James and the Lakers, they picked up Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee. You just said they just signed Rondo, released, let Randle go. So looking at that roster, where are they going to be in the playoffs?
The Lakers?
Yeah, the Lakers.
Probably the 5th seed.
Oh my God, I said 5 or 6 too.
Probably.
Even though they're not contending for a championship, they'll win in the first round and lose in the second round, and watch Houston and Golden State again in the finals.
All right. Sounds about right. Unless the Mavericks decide that they want to do something and then, shake up. But I don't like how people are disrespecting the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference, just because they don't have a big name like LeBron James, they have some really good young talent over there. And you can brush them off if you want to, but don't be surprised if there's an NBA champion next year from the Eastern Division. If Philly wins the championship or Boston wins the championship, the same people who sit back and say, oh, the Eastern Division sucks and there's a big hole now. I mean, yes, you're right. The Eastern Conference sucks and there's nobody over there worth talking about. If they win the championship next year, again, I'm going to come on here and go.
Look, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
Well, right
Therefore,
now, y'all need to be drunk.
There's no way nobody from the East is competing with the top 4 seeds in the West.
You know what? I'm going to keep my eye on it.
No way. We have a whole year to do this.
Yes,
right.
I'm going to keep my
Boston, eye on it. It's going to be Boston and Philly next year in the East Conference Finals. Toronto a distant third. I want to include my Wizards, but you know, as long as Ernie Grunfeld is the GM of the Washington Wizards, I just have to, just yay, root, yay.
The Wizards might be in contention because LeBron's not there to play in
again,
Cleveland.
that's why Toronto, Philly, Boston, they're all rejoicing in the streets. But the bottom line is Philly's a very good team, up and comer. So can they beat Toronto? Yes. Can they beat Boston? Probably not, with Kyrie and Gordon Hayward coming back. So Boston will represent the East in the finals next year. Golden State will represent the West in the finals next year. Even with Chris Paul, and it's going to be a great. The real challenge, the real finals, is going to be the Western Conference Finals. Those are going to be the 2 best teams. However, the Celtics in the West, they'll be a 4th seed easy.
Well,
but they'll be a runaway number 1 seed in the East.
I'm going to be a cheerleader for the East.
Good.
I'm going to be a cheerleader for the East.
Good.
They need some support because
They won't. So you're saying the East will win the finals next year?
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody comes out of the East and win the finals.
Well, somebody has to come out the East.
I said and win the finals.
Yeah, they won't win. Matter of fact, if Golden State or the Rockets win the Western Conference Finals and they go to the finals and play anybody from the East,
they're going to sweep.
They're going to sweep.
Okay.
Just like this year.
2nd.
Just like this year.
Okay.
Just like this year. Cleveland they kind of coasted to the finals, lost a few games, came close in a couple series, but when it comes to the dominance of the West, they got swept.
Okay.
It's going to be the same thing next year. Poor Eastern Conference. Poor Eastern Conference.
We will see.
Anyway, that's it for the NBA free agency. We'll touch base again when the season starts. But now up.
Sexual chemistry.
Sexual chemistry. What's this Marvin Gaye song? Sexual healing. Yeah, sexual healing. We're talking about sexual healing.
We're talking about sexual chemistry.
What about sexual chemistry?
Have you ever been so physically attracted to someone? And you just can't wait to have sex with them, and then when you have sex with all that physical attraction, it's the worst sexual experience you've ever had.
I was not expecting you to say that. I thought you were going to say, have you ever been so physically attracted to someone and you just could wait to have sex with them? When you had sex with them, it was the best in the whole world, and you just had the best chemistry ever.
No.
And it was horrible?
That it was horrible. So, you say to yourself, okay, it was our first time. Because people make excuses and say it was our first time. We don't know each other. So, he may have, how y'all, people have excuses. So, then you have,
I don't know how people have
then you have sex again the second time. And it's bad sex again. Like, you have no emotion in it. And I'm not saying you got to be in love. Like, it just feels awkward. It's like an awkward sexual.
So now you have to define this, because a bad sexual experience, I could point back to maybe high school when I didn't know what I was doing, or she didn't know what she was doing. We were very young, and it ended up being bad. But as an adult, I don't get the bad sex.
It's like you.
Please let me know what bad sex is.
It's just.
But let everybody know what bad sex is.
It's just you have sex with that person, and it's just no no fizzle, no magic, no. It's
so
just
define What is it? Specifically, describe it.
You can't describe it, really describe it, other than the fact that you can't wait for it to be over. So, however you had sex with this person and you can't wait for it to be over, as a female, I don't know, maybe his penis is small, or
That's
he's a
what I'm asking.
jackrabbit.
Is it?
but it's not even how he does it. It's the whole feeling of it mixed in with how he does it. Just the feeling you get. It's just no chemistry. If he's pumping in, if he's pushing his penis in, and she's supposed to meet him, like you all supposed to move together. Maybe they're both going. I don't know. He's pumping in, she's pulling out. It's just no sexual chemistry. You know how a team you need to have chemistry to get. It's just no sexual chemistry there. Most people, I'm hoping, know what sexual chemistry is. It's just I'm trying to kiss you. It's nothing. It's just bad.
That's why I'm trying to get the visual. Like he's going in and you going out when you're supposed to be going like meeting him when he's going in.
Right. It's just bad sex. There's no sexual chemistry.
So no rhythm.
But it's not just no rhythm. It's just the feel of it. It's just bad.
You keep on saying bad and no sexual chemistry. I'm trying to get the definition.
No sexual chemistry was, remember when you said you were in high school and you didn't know what you were doing and she didn't know what she was doing? Based on the sex that you've had since then, would that be considered a bad sexual experience?
But I can describe it though.
Yeah, but would it be considered a bad sexual experience?
Sure.
Then has there been some other times where the sex has been not as good as others with other people? Like it wasn't a real in this case it wasn't bad, but you don't have to have sex with that person again.
Right, but I wouldn't say it was because of chemistry.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand the chemistry part. How you define chemistry?
I did.
Like it's rhythm for one. That's a great description of chemistry. Is there anything else?
Yeah, everything about it is bad. The feeling of it is bad. The rhythm is off. The feeling is bad. He doesn't know how to.
How does it feel?
Pump.
How does it feel bad? So wait a second. When someone inserts their penis inside you,
it might be too small.
It feels bad.
It might be too small, or it may be too big. It's just a bad chemistry. The chemistry. You and I can have, and not sexually, but you and I can have chemistry in conversations, or just being around each other, and we have good chemistry being around each other. It comes off, it shows. That's what I mean by chemistry being in the bed.
So you can have a small penis or a big penis and have bad chemistry.
Yes.
Or I think you said the feel good part. You can feel bad even if you have a small penis or a big penis.
Yes. It's just bad chemistry.
You keep on saying the words, and the definition is
Let me
what I'm
relate it
after.
in the sports play. People say T.O. is a team cancer, but if you talk to his teammates, they'll tell you that, oh, T.O. is a great guy. I don't know. Some teammates will tell you he was a great guy, and then there's some people that will tell you, no, he a cancer. You got to get him out of here.
Okay.
So let's equate that to sex. Those people who said that he was a team cancer, if it was on the sex thing, however they interacted with each other, they just didn't get a good feel. They just didn't get a good vibe from T.O. He's just a bad person. Hey, he can speak and I'll keep it moving, but I just don't vibe with him. And that's what bad chemistry is when it comes to sex. Your vibe is off. The sex is bad because the vibe is off. That's the chemistry.
So it has really nothing to do with rhythm or the size of the penis then?
It's going to be rhythm because the vibe is off. So if the vibe is off, then it's bad sexual chemistry. It's just simple as that.
If the vibe is off, it's
Yes.
bad sexual chemistry.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was way too long explaining what sexual chemistry was.
No, bad sexual chemistry.
Yes, I don't. That was a long explanation, but hopefully people understand what.
Yeah, if you got it out there what bad sexual chemistry is, just type it out in the comment section, leave a review, and tell me what bad sexual chemistry is, because I still don't know what bad sexual chemistry is. I got rhythm part. That makes sense. Like I'm there, she's moving, and I'm moving kind of in a counter way,
So
and that makes sense. But
everybody
outside
you
of
had
that,
sex with, was it good sexual chemistry?
Good sexual chemistry?
Everybody
Sure.
that you had sex with, it's on your list that you can call and based on this say they had good sexual chemistry, so I will call one of them again to have sex with because the chemistry was good.
sure.
Your whole list.
I would say as an adult, yes. As an adult,
Lucky you.
yeah, because maybe I'm a guy, because it's easy for guys to have decent sex.
No.
Because most guys, when they have sex, they come. Whether it's 30 seconds in or 30 minutes in. So as long as the guy comes, ooh, this is good. But from a woman's standpoint, you're like, is it 30 minutes yet? Can you hurry up? I get it. Like, he's just going, and jackrabbit maybe. It's the speed. See, I'm not getting the chemistry part, because chemistry is, to me, it's the feeling, the connectness.
Right.
It's not really physical.
Right. Somebody that you've been dealing with, and you're physically attracted to them. You've been dealing with them, so you have some type of relationship with them, and then it's time for you to have sex with this person that you consider as somebody that you in a relationship with or want to be in a relationship with, and the sex is bad. So that's the sexual chemistry is off. So what do you do?
Find somebody new.
I agree.
Because if you have bad sex with somebody else, it's with a particular person, and sex is a very important part of your relationship, which it is in every relationship, then that relationship won't work out. Are you asking, how can you tell if you have good sexual chemistry?
No, everybody knows whether you have good sexual chemistry or bad sexual chemistry. But some people have bad sexual chemistry, but they really like the person and don't want to hurt that person's feelings, and they want to be able to have that conversation with them about the sexual chemistry. So is it you and I? Is it some way that you feel about me? Is it something that you need me to do different? But the vibe of the sexual thing between us is off, and they need to have that conversation. The conversation that I would have is exactly what you said. I would have to break up with that person. But some people don't want to break up.
So what are we talking about then?
How do you have that conversation with your partner that the sexual chemistry between us is bad? So if I came to you as your sexual partner and said that it was bad, how would I come to you and have that conversation with you? How would you want me to come to you and have that conversation?
How do I communicate that we have bad sexual chemistry, but you want it to get good? You want to get better? You want to have sex with me? You like me? You want to continue it? Mm-hmm. So you have to tell me to set my game up sexually. That's what the question is.
Something has to step up, yeah.
Rather short and sweet. You can tell them what you like, the way you like it. Introduce other things, maybe toys. Explain to them, teach them how to use it in a non-teaching way, if you know what I mean. Say, do this like this, I really like this, and teach them how you want to be fucked and how you want to have sex. You can't go with a critical point of view or a complaining point of view, saying things like, you're bad at this, you got to get better at this, I don't like this. Because that's going to be, anybody's going to be, whether it's a man or a woman, they're going to be put on the defensive. So it goes back to all about communication, whether it's normal everyday stuff or sex. You tell them, it's like working out. Put it like this, I always use this example. When over the course of years, a woman tends to put on more weight than a man, just naturally, normally. Not saying that they're not fat men out here, because they are, but that's not my point. Women put on weight, and they're really sensitive about their weight. And if a man becomes unattracted to his wife or spouse because of her weight, he can't go to her and say, hey, you need to go work out because you're putting on weight. You need to go work out because I'm becoming unattracted to you. He cannot say things like that. But instead, he can say, hey, I joined the gym. I'm taking this class. Do you want to come with me? Hey, I'm about to go for a walk. Do you want to come with me? Mm-hmm. You can invite your spouse to do certain things that will, helps them. Same thing with sex. You can go to him and say, hey, I like it when you do this. Do more of this. I like it when you do it this way. Mm-hmm. Do more of that this way. Mm-hmm. Therefore, the sex becomes better and it's the way you like it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Show is over. Yes. Awesome. We've solved the problem.
Great.
Yes.
So.
What, you had a question?
No, I don't have a question.
Okay.
So let's get into the joke of the day so we can get on out of here.
All right, joke. A teacher's teaching a class and she sees Johnny isn't paying attention. You know, good old Johnny.
Yeah, I do.
So she asks him, if there are 3 ducks sitting on a fence and you shoot one, how many are left, Johnny? He says, none. The teacher asks, well, why you say that? Johnny says, because the shot scared them all off. The teacher says, no, Johnny, it's 2, but I like how you're thinking. Johnny asks the teacher, well, if you see 3 women walking out of an ice cream parlor, one is licking her ice cream, one is sucking her ice cream, and one is biting her ice cream, which one is Mary? The teacher says, the one sucking her ice cream. Johnny says, no, the one with the wedding ring on, but I like how you're thinking.
Okay, Johnny and the teacher.
Johnny and the teacher.
On that note, Routes and Relationship fans, we are out of here.
Peace.